Respawn Entertainment is hosting a $500,000 tournament in Poland on the 13th with all the big team names, but nobody knows what's going to happen. So that's going to be today's topic. Here's up guys, the Nibbler, and today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the upcoming Poland Invitational. There are going to be 80 different teams competing at the Invitational, so I will not be able to talk about all the teams playing. So now on your screen are going to be teams that I will not be talking about. With that said, I want to mention 3 teams on a list that I think will perform well at the Invitational. These teams are Atletico, Nagano, and Space Station Gaming. They all performed pretty well at the ESPN EXP Invitational, especially Nagano. They had a lot of placement points and some kills for a high amount of total points. They got 12th at the EXP Invitational and placed above teams like NRG, LG, Complexity, CLG, and Team Genji. So Nagano is not a team to quickly dismiss. The reason I'm not talking about this team more in the video is because the only time I've heard or watched them was at the Invitational, so I don't feel qualified to say where they will place in the Poland tournament, but I should say that they will do well. Now moving on to my predictions. All the teams I will be talking about in this video are either teams that I have played against or I have watched in detail so I know how they run and play. So I decided to make a tier list so this video is a little bit more interactive. In the description below is a link to the tier list that you can edit yourself. When you're done with your list, screenshot it and tweet it at me. My Twitter is Naval Nation, which will also be in the description below. So starting with my unknowns, I have Team Secret and North. Both of these teams didn't compete at the EXP, so I'm not sure how they will do on land. Both teams are pretty good in range, but to be fair, those games are not against pro teams. Team Secret has only been together for 52 days and North has only been together for 56 days, so when you put that up against teams like TSM and NRG who have been together for a long time, it's hard to see North and Secret come out on top. Next is the D tier. This includes Virtus Pro, Echo Fox, Navi, G2, FlyQuest, Genji, and Gambit. I think all these teams will place no higher than 30th out of the 80 teams. Played against Gambit and FlyQuest, and they all play right next to each other, but both teams don't always consistently win and rather die before top 10 against randoms and ranked. Like I said before, if you can't consistently place well in a public ranked game, what makes you think that they're going to do well against other pro teams? Virtus Pro, Navi, and G2 are teams that I'm just not too fond of yet. I'm simply not convinced that they can perform the way they need to. G2 just picked up their team this month. Navi has only one player I like in 9 Impulse, and Virtus Pro has Pasha Biceps. I'm just kidding, Virtus Pro is a rather new team. Echo Fox has yet to prove anything. The only reason why I'm saying that they're not an unknown is because they have Stormin. I have a lot of faith in this player, but Apex Legends is not a solo game, so he can't carry his team. But this well-known H1Z1 player has a lot of experience when it comes to dealing with nerves, and that's half the battle when it comes to LAN events. So I think he could pass some of his wisdom to his teammates to ease the burden on them so that they can play well. But I think compared to all the other teams, Stormin's supporting cast isn't amazing. And last is Genji. Even though Genji placed 19th at the EXP Invitational, that's the only notable event that they have really attended and that I've seen them in. So I don't feel like they will place really well again like before. The D tier list is for teams that I don't think will place higher than the 30th placement. And with that said, I think that Genji will place around 30 to 35 out of the teams. They will do well, but nothing really out of the ordinary. Next is the C tier. This includes teams like Luminosity, Soar, Alliance, Tempo Storm, CLG, and Complexity. Every team on this tier has never placed out of the top 20 spots in all their tournaments, so everyone is extremely consistent. I was contemplating on putting Luminosity in the unknown tier list because of the lack of events and tournaments that they have been in, but I can't deny their talent and the EXP placement that they had, which was 14th right behind NRG. I feel like they have the talent to place top 20, and same goes for Soar. Soar is another team with little to no international experience, so I think that they have the talents to place high, but we'll have to see what happens. Alliance is a great team that placed 11th in the EXP Invitational and has had past placements like top 20, 3rd, in other events. So they are consistently in the top 20 but fluctuate in that realm. And the same goes for Tempo Storm. They placed 5th at the EXP Invitational, so I expect them to get in the top 15th placement. But CLG and Complexity are up for grabs. I've personally played against and with some CLG members and know that they're great. Nicewig is arguably the best controller player, Noko Puffs has great movement with Pathfinder, and Madness is an underrated supporting cast for this trio. But they have never really performed to their full potential. This could be their breakout event or just another top 20 placement. And the same with Complexity. I've played against them multiple times, they've won past events, and they have always placed in the top 20. But I'm not sure if they're ready to be as consistent as they need to be. With that said, I think CLG and Complexity will place in the top 10th to 20th placement. Next is the B tier, including Liquid, Fnatic, Misfits, and Lazarus. All these teams have placed in the top 10 at the EXP Invitational, and Fnatic and Liquid are the only teams out of all of them to place out of a top 10 placement in any other event or tournament. Liquid's Mendo placed 11th at the Apex Solo Showdown, so that doesn't really count, and the team placed 13th at the Apex Proving Round 7 tournament. Other than that, they performed great at LAN, and same with the others. There's really not much to say other than that. Fnatic, Misfits, and Lazarus are all consistent, and don't be surprised if they place top 10 again. Now moving on to who I think will place in the top 5. The A tier list includes NRG, T1, and Rogue. Nobody really sees T1 as a top tier team, and everyone knows Rogue is a good team, but they don't really get the credit that they deserve. Rogue won the Apex Legends Challenge Finals and placed 3rd in the Strong Esports Invitational Series and 3rd in Twitch Rivals Solo Showdown, and they have never placed worse than 9th place. T1 has done well themselves, placing 8th at the EXP Invitational, but has consistently, week by week, placed in the top 10 in the FACEIT Pro Series, winning week 2 and 4. They have also won UMG week 3 and 5, and they have won FACEIT Invitational above teams like NRG, TSM, and Tempo Storm. So I hope by now you know that T1 is a team to look out for. And last but not least, NRG. Now, I'm not an NRG fanboy, and I'm not here to say that they're the best, because they're not. They don't play insane on LAN and have only come in first in 2 events. But what they do have going for them is experience and momentum. The last event was the Twitch Rivals Road to TwitchCon Showdown, and they came in first. And each member of NRG placed in the top 20 in the Solo Showdown. I feel like they have played more and more together, and they have really just found their mojo. It seems like they have fixed their endgame problems where they make a mistake at the last second to secure the win, and I think all 3 of these teams have a chance to come in the top 5, but I think only one will, so we'll have to see who that is. Now on to the S tier. These are the last 3 teams that I will be talking about. The first team I want to talk about are the ESPN EXP Invitational winners, TSM. A team that has won 3 FACEIT weeks, 1 Apex Pro NA season, and 1 Code Red tournament, not to mention their multiple other high placement events. TSM is a team that is highly respected and can have a case made for as the best Apex Pro team. I personally think Imperial's the best pro Wraith, and considering Wraith can use her into the void ability to outsurvive zones, Imperial can go huge for the team. Next is Team Reciprocity. They came in 2nd at the EXP Invitational and at UNG week 4 and 5. In the worst placement ever is 6th place in the Twitch Rivals Road to TwitchCon. Reciprocity had the most amount of kills at the EXP Invitational with 68 and only lost to TSM because of placements. And with their track record placing 2nd 3 times out of the 4 events that they have attended, it might be their time to come out on top. Now on to the last team that I would be talking about in my personal prediction to who will take Poland. Yes sir, Team Sentinels. They have won both the EXP North American qualifiers and the Apex Legends Challenge event. They've come in 3rd at the EXP Invitational and have placed 2nd in Twitch Rivals Elite Q and Twitch Rivals Road to TwitchCon, which was the most recent event. So not only do they always place well and they're coming off of a top 3 placement in the most recent event, but most importantly, they're not the favorites to take this event in a lot of people's books. Like I said before, if you've ever competed in an event, nerves are half the battle, and during a LAN it makes it 10 times worse. So Sentinels have not only been to multiple LANs, but they have also placed extremely well in them. So for them to come into this event off of a top 3 finish and lots of experience under the belt with little to no pressure, I think that they're going to take it all. But who knows, BRs are all just RNG, so if a team like TSM or Sentinels can't find guns throughout the entire event, they can come in last, so we'll just have to see what happens at Poland. So let me know who you think is going to win this event. Tell me in the comment sections below, and just a reminder that the tier list is in the description below so you guys can make your own and tweet it at me at my Twitter. My handle is Naval Nation, and a link will be in the description below to them. And not only that, but I also have a weekly coaching series where you guys send me in gameplay and I show you how to get better. So if you want to check out the most recent episodes of that, I will have that in the description below alongside all the other links. So guys, please comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching this video. See ya. Bye.